You don't need to live in France to sound French. I live in England, but my French keeps improving every single day without physically moving to France. In today's video, I'll share exactly how I did it, the habits, the mindset, and a few honest stories that helps me grow in confidence as a non-native speaker. If you're new here, I'm Rachelle, Rachelle en français. I speak 6 languages and French is my current passion. I started this channel to share my real language learning journey as a working mom living in the UK, showing that you can make progress anywhere, anytime, no matter how busy life gets. When I told people I was learning French in England, everyone says, you'll never be fluent unless you move to France. Honestly, that's one of the biggest myths in language learning. The truth, fluency isn't about location, it's about consistency and creativity. We live in a time where you can bring France into your living room, like podcasts, YouTube, Netflix, Discord study groups. Immersion isn't just about location anymore, it's about mindset. For example, my morning starts with a French podcast while I'm doing my makeup.
On peut se dire que c'est logique parce que la population vieillit, mais ce n'est pas le seul facteur. On observe en effet que le nombre de cancers a beaucoup augmenté chez les jeunes aussi.
And speaking of mindset, one tiny word completely changed how I see progress. For the longest time I said, my French isn't good. Then one day I add one word, yet. My French isn't good yet. That word changed everything. It means you trust yourself, you're not perfect yet, but you are on your way. It turns frustration into curiosity. For example, I used to struggle with I'd record myself saying who about like 50 times, laugh and try again, and now I celebrate when I finally signed it right because every attempt is a progress. Once I embraced that mindset, I started building my own French environment right here in England. Because I don't live in France, I decided to bring France to me. I switched my phone and Netflix to French, I follow French influencers, I follow Easy French, I subscribe to Français avec Nanny.
La routine, j'avais hâte de te voir.
Moi aussi, rien de mieux qu'un petit café pour papoter.
D'ailleurs, qu'est-ce que tu as prévu pour ce week-end?
Samedi, je vais faire du shopping et puis dimanche, je me repose. Et toi?
Moi, j'ai une sortie prévue.
They all make me feel like I'm strolling through Paris from my little corner in Surrey. Even my grocery list ends up half in French, like lait, pain, café, tomate, pomme de terre. Starting my YouTube channel was also part of this. Talking to a camera in French was scary at first. And honestly, it took me nearly 20 takes to film a few sentences until I was finally happy with them. You never realize how much harder a language becomes the moment you speak it out loud, compared to how easily it flows in your head. If you have no one to talk to, start by talking to yourself. Record short daily clips, describe your days, or pretend you're chatting with a friend in French. It feels awkward, but your mouth and brain needs the real practice. When you listen back a few weeks later, you hear progress. Your rhythm, your accents, your confidence, that's your proof. And when I couldn't find adults to practice with, I found the most unexpected speaking partners. They are children. I work in a UK school and many kids here learn basic French. Sometimes I say, bonjour, comment ça va? And they proudly replies, très bien, merci. They are not big conversations, but it keeps you practicing daily conversation in French. Kids are the best practice partners. They don't judge you, they just respond and enjoy. One day I mispronounced a word and a pupil corrected me with the biggest grin. That moment reminded me languages are about connection, not perfection. You don't need a Paris cafe to practice if you have kids, neighbors, colleagues, and you can use them as your mini French buddies. The point is to speak out loud, even for minutes a day. Even when I'm alone, I make sure French stays present through what I call my micro habits. I rarely do long study sessions now because I'm a busy mom, I work part-time, I have my own business, so I focus on micro moments like small, repeatable actions that fit my real life. For example, you can do 10 minutes podcast while doing laundry. You can repeat words while walking to school, you can write a French sentence in your journals every night, or you can also narrate your morning like Je prépare le café, je vais au travail, listening to a French songs or picking one language to learn. These habits feel small, but they quietly build fluency. A little French every day is better than a long session once a week. And whenever motivation dips, I remind myself that progress doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's hidden in those small wins. You've heard me talk about small wins before, but honestly, they are the secrets to long-term motivation. When I passed my DELF A1 last year, I felt like a big success. Even though it's just technically a beginner level, that certificate reminded me every milestone counts. Even finishing a short conversation without switching to English, that's a victory worth smiling about. If you only celebrate perfection, you'll burn out. But when you celebrate progress, you build momentum. And one fun way I stayed motivated is by realizing how many French words I already know. You know, English and French share so many words. I call them language twins. Recognizing them boosts your vocabulary and confidence instantly. Say for example, you've got important, important, restaurant, restaurant, animal, animal, impossible, impossible, conversation, conversation, family, family, minute, minute. I can't even do English now. Minute, minuit, music, music. See, they are almost identical, just a new rhythm and accent, and suddenly you sound way more French. Sometimes when I walk through town, I read English signs and imagine their French versions. It keeps my brain active even on busy days. So yes, I live in England, but France is always around me, in my podcasts, my notebooks, and my little everyday habits. You don't need France to learn French. You need creativity, consistency, and that small but powerful word, yet. Living in England has not limited me. It's actually made me more intentional and resourceful. If you enjoyed this video, you'll also love another one I made, why I changed my channel name, and my favorite French magazine for learners. It's personal, practical, and full of inspiration if you're passionate about French culture too. So don't stop it here, click that video next, keep your French brain switched on, and let's keep learning together.